What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode number 64 of Wars in the Stars. Today, I am joined by Matt Murdoch.
The
Um,
best lawyer. Sorry, I normally do this stuff like during the countdown, but I was celebrating that I actually
I
did
just
something
saw the
right.
fist bump. I saw the fist bump down below, and it was because you uninstalled it finally, OneDrive.
No, I finally got my displays set up properly on my computer.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
it literally, I was before you sent me the link. I was fiddling with it for so long, and I finally
Oh,
got it to work.
nice. So yeah, I just got out. I had a game a couple hours ago. Preseason game. We looked okay. Definitely got some stuff to work on for sure. I played well. I went 1 for 3 at the plate. Had an RBI. Alex probably has no idea what I'm
That
saying
sounds so good. Good, go you.
right now. But yeah, we got some stuff to work on for sure. But always fun. We get to play on a minor league field in our city. So really cool stuff. Been dealing with the left shoulder problem. I've
Ooh,
gotten that checked out. And I've had They think
not
it's
good.
some type of left labrium injury.
Uh,
Labrium basically is where, just think of it as a ball uh, connecting your muscles,
yeah.
and they think it's definitely not a full tear. If it was a full tear, I wouldn't be able to do anything. But they think it might be like a partial tear or just stress on it. So it's been affecting me while I hit, but I thought I hit pretty well today, and I didn't get anything in the field really, but definitely got some stuff to work on. But Uh, yeah, I just went 2 minutes too long with stuff that people won't care about. But
Aw.
yeah, Alex, how was your week? How's your day been so far, my man? I know we didn't get to watch the episode today because I kind of wanted to be ready for my game. But
Oh,
did you get up early still, or what was the
no.
deal?
So we
I got up
have
at 5 to watch it.
yeah, we have state testing going on for the last we had it last week, this week, and then we have it next week. And so I was in no rush because I didn't have to go to school till 10. And since I knew you were starting baseball season, I wasn't gonna hold you to being like, "Hey, it's 3 a.m. Where are you?" So I was just like, if he texts me, I'm up, so I'll watch it. But so I saw that it was like 3:30, and I was like, "Yeah, he's probably either asleep or he's watched it, or he's in the middle of watching it and forgot to say something." So I was like, "I'm going to bed. I don't have the energy to watch it." So I woke up at about 8, watched it. I thought it was solid. Without going too far into it, I definitely think it's the worst episode right now, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
Oh, it's not bad by any
No, no,
stretch.
no, no.
It this show, like I said it to you, it reminds me a lot of like when we talked about Loki. Like I
Yeah,
remember when we talked about episodes 1 and 2 of Loki and how much we loved it, and then we got to Lamentus, it was
yeah,
episode 3, and we were like, "Oh, okay, fine."
yeah. Good.
But there was like in both cases, episode 3 has a couple of really intriguing scenes in both of those. Like
No,
obviously the cliffhanger with Loki, but and the cliffhanger here.
yeah.
Um, there's one thing I don't like, and I'll get into it, but before that announcement, Alex is gonna do. Are you gonna do a weekly? You said your weekly
So,
announcements.
in my first take of the video, I said I'm going to try to stick to a weekly schedule with it, but depending on the time of the year, it might be a like weekly or potentially daily thing of
Right.
doing a full like movie gaming news roundup. I posted my first one yesterday. I had 3 topics that I wanted to talk about, and of course, after I uploaded it, I remembered, oh yeah, I have all these other things I was supposed to say. Oh well, I already uploaded
What
it.
did you forget about?
The Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness runtime,
Yeah,
which is 2 hours 6 minutes.
people are complaining about that. Who
No,
cares?
this
The hell.
movie, and I'll say it because the thing that I want to try to do is I want to try to include like no opinions about it.
Right.
It's just report it and just
Right.
move on.
Yeah.
Um, but I was literally gonna say because I remembered afterwards, I was like, if I included it, I probably would have said, yeah, the people complaining probably only just started watching the MCU and are just nervous, or they're comic book extremists who think that anybody who hasn't read a comic book are a bunch of losers and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
By
yeah.
the way, I saw it. So there's been a specific video about a Lego Star Wars going around. I know
Oh,
you. I know you. I know what you're talking about.
stop.
Uh, listen. So my thing with it is like, I don't really. I don't go on the internet much now. Obviously, like I
Mm,
am on my phone like literally only an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, and that's just to check updates from family and maybe listen to
yeah.
a podcast. So when I see this, I'm like, my first thought was, okay, this video is just satire. I didn't think much of it, and I get the jokes. Like I looked at you and you commented and you said something like, tell me you don't talk to women without telling me you don't talk to women. It's like this guy's
Hmm.
making a joke. Alex made a joke back. Choco
Yeah.
had a great one. He said
Yeah.
maidenless behavior. I
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
died laughing. But the people who are like generally upset with that video. It's like I get it.
No.
It's so
Yeah.
tiring. It's so tiring. Like
I
both
just
sides.
I think what's funny about it though is it's just like I think the video is satire, but people who like genuinely thought he was being 1,000% serious, you're like, yeah, fuck Ray, man. She can suck my big fat dick for all I care. I'm just like, bro, I don't think it's that deep, and I don't think people are like,
But
oh
I
my
know it
god,
had over 100,000 likes. Like people like
yeah,
who think that because most people were normal and probably said, "Ah, it's just sad." It's like
yeah,
just satirical. I thought it was funny. I laughed a little. It's like, "Ah, okay, whatever. I
yeah,
laughed a little. It was funny, but it's like, yeah, I also like poking fun at you. Like, yeah,
yeah,
why are you staring at the girl so much, man? You don't get any play.
yeah, yeah.
um,
Ugh,
no, but yeah, I didn't. It's
I
not
don't.
that big of a.
I'm
I
sorry,
think
I don't. Have,
just people overreact to everything.
sorry, I
Yeah,
just
we
realized
get it.
I didn't have my ring light on.
Uh oh.
So sorry if my lighting didn't look the greatest. Hold on,
So
I can't.
our game was also in the rain today, and we have like a
Ugh.
very nice dugout that you can
Mm,
like go in and you're away from it. I had to have my Batman vibe on. I just stand in the
mm.
rain.
Yes, as you should. Look, he's right there.
Yeah, I
He's
I
right.
am literally Bruce Wayne.
Oh, oh, he fell over, but he is above me too.
What?
I have his DC action figure of the
Oh,
Batman.
nice, nice.
Except he
Okay.
looks really weird. He looks like his face is literally like this. Like this is how his eyes look. Like
Um.
they're looking that way, but his face is looking that way. He looks like he's got a really two really bad lazy eyes.
Yeah. So we spent 8 minutes just mindlessly talking about nothing, but that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. Who
Yeah,
cares?
I mean, look, the thing about my TikTok thing is I'm gonna try to keep it as consistent as possible. I'm gonna try to not get my stories from Drew, because
Why?
the Peter Ramsey one, what I did Loki steal it from the itinerary. I wanted more than
Oh.
two stories, but I want to try to get this
Uh,
on my
I
own.
thought you were saying like I don't.
No,
I thought you were
no,
making like saying I don't put good stories for us to talk about. I was gonna say I
no,
take great
because
offense to that.
no, because the thing is I wanted to talk about things that we weren't gonna talk about in here because they either weren't big enough. Oh my god, I just remembered the other story that I was supposed to talk about was the Gorr the God Butcher league.
Right, but we were also gonna talk about that.
Yeah. So I wanted to try to not talk about things that we're going to talk about because we're going to talk about the Peter Ramsey directing an Ahsoka episode later on.
Right. I
But it's
think it's
just
fine to do stuff we're talking
no.
about still.
If it's like pretty slow or I can't think of much or
It's been a
I
slow
can't find
news
much.
week as it is.
Yeah. And then
But
yeah.
by the way, I saw it like because you could see who likes stuff on Twitter.
Mhm.
I saw that you liked all of the actor who's playing Percy Jackson stuff.
And it's
He
not even
post.
his account.
It's not even his.
It's not even I literally found out from his Instagram story. I was like I still have all this stuff liked, but
Right, nice guy. You're more active on Twitter now. I saw because I could see who
yeah.
like it. Yeah,
I'm trying to be more active everywhere except Instagram. Instagram's a no. I'm not being.
really.
That's
Twitter
like
though, oof, man. I mean, I'm on a
Twitter.
good side of Twitter. I mean, like
Yeah.
sports Twitter's nice, and like I don't
Oh,
pay attention to half of it.
I don't interact with that many people. I like posts and
Right.
follow my news guys, but like I don't know. It's weird because when I'm doing it, it's just like some of the stuff I'm going to be like talking about, like the Percy Jackson thing. I watched the first movie and then I didn't care. I read the books when I was like in
Mhm.
elementary school, middle school, but I
Right.
was just like,
I don't think I ever read them, if I'm being honest.
no, it's just like that's the stuff I'm going to be reporting about. I'm going to have no opinion about it. So it's just like,
Oh, yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking, I was thinking about it because I honestly have had a big crave to go do TikTok again. Like,
See, I've had the opposite. I just don't care. Like, I'll
yeah,
post a Moonknight video, but like, Star Wars, like, like leaks and stuff like that. It's just like first off, it's not allowed to talk about. We
Yeah,
had a little spree where I talked about some Mandalorian stuff that was interesting, but
yeah.
that's done filming. Well, according to Giancarlo Esposito, somehow they're gonna do post production in 3 months. I don't know
Yes,
how.
sir. They're gonna have
Uh,
some CGI looking like we're in 2001 with a $10,000 budget.
um, yeah, it's not coming out in the summer, like Giancarlo says.
Yeah, it's come on, The
That's
Witcher.
something you could have talked about.
No, because it. I didn't think it was something that was like, oh yeah, that's some big newsworthy stuff. No, it's not, because that man also thinks that show's probably gonna last for like ever. So
Yeah, love the guy, but like,
yeah, very unrealistic expectations
I
for
know.
editing.
Yeah.
Love him. He's a great villain, but
Yeah, and then yeah, I just haven't like. There's been nothing.
yeah,
Celebration stuff I might talk about as we get closer to that because there's some
yeah,
interesting panels for sure, and we haven't really talked about it off air. But I
yeah.
I want to now, it's been 12 minutes almost. I want to finally get into our main topic, Moonknight episode 3. Alex, I'll let you go first. Give your just overall general thoughts before we get into some details. Oh, by the
So,
way, before you get into that, I don't mean to cut you off, but the gentleman who the French actor who passed away in the tragic snowboarding accident was the one. I can't remember his name. He was the gentleman in the robe at the
yeah. Oh God, what was his
Gobert.
name?
It was a Gobert. I want to say it was something. He plays
Yeah,
Middleman, or is it Midnight Man?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh my God! I need to go back to the. I need to look.
I don't
But yes,
know.
I feel so bad. But he is a French actor. Um, passed away tragically from a snowboarding accident a couple months prior to the show being out, and yeah, tragically passed away before he got to see the show. So obviously, it was a nice tribute, saying in memory of him. So yeah, I just wanted to say that before Alex goes. But Alex, go ahead, give your general thoughts.
So we kind of said at the beginning that I definitely think this was a good episode. I definitely think it's the weakest thus far.
Hmm.
In terms of things like pacing and all that, it very much dragged on. It felt like in some areas, and it. I don't know how I feel about what they did at the end of the episode. Right now, at this point of the series, um, and so I'm conflicted about the episode. I think it was good. It was really good, but like compared to episode 1 or 2, just kind of not in the same like area. Because I gave episode 1 I think a 10 out of 10. I think I gave episode 2 or no, I gave episode 1 an 8 out of 10 and I gave episode 2 a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I'd give this probably like a 7.5 to an 8.
yeah. So when um we discussed it a little bit this morning. I think the first two episodes I gave a solid like 8.25, 8.
Mm,
Um, this one a little bit of a downgrade for sure, 7.5. So like a 7.5 for me is like you did everything really solid. Just nothing bad. And
yeah.
this this show hasn't done anything really poor to me. His name was Mogart. Mogart.
Okay.
Um, so it was his last name. So not the actual guy, but the character itself. But so, like this episode wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It just wasn't as strong. I think it's really weird because like my opinion, Stephen Grant's been more interesting of Mark and Steven, which is really
Yeah.
weird, right? Because Mark is the one that's more connected to Khonshu. But I will say this
Yeah.
show does a great job of making you care about these characters and especially like even Khonshu in this episode. Like I'm like, damn, I feel bad for this bird god. Like I also think like either Khonshu knows what he's doing or he's the biggest idiot of all time. I think
Yeah.
that that's the only two options. Um, because he just set the constellations back 2,000 years.
Yeah, he kind of
Um,
just like sent everything back 2,000 years.
right.
Ultimate, like,
The sky, yeah, the sky
yeah,
itself. Um, And then also, like how I also really think it was a good moment because he finally trusted Steven
Yeah.
after calling him a Paris. Like he tells Mark, "You summon the god," or something like that, and then you summon the worm. It's just like it was a good,
Yeah.
funny line. Thought Arthur was solid in this episode. He's been a really good villain. He's a
Yes.
manipulative piece of shit, obviously, which is why he's so good. Um, Obviously, he was going to get his way with the tribunal of Egyptian gods because Mark was, mentally unwell, obviously. Um,
Yeah.
and then he was just really good. Like his dialogue, and Layla again, very very strong in this episode. Mark, and then I want to get this first because I think it's the big point everyone's talking about. Do you think Jake Lockley is the third persona?
Yes.
I
I
don't like
do.
it.
I don't like it because it's a pretty big deviation from him in the comics.
Right.
But to that point, I don't think that really matters. So
I don't care about. We'll get to that with the gore thing. But I don't really care about comic accuracy. I had read the comics, so I can understand why people who have really do care about that sort of thing.
yeah,
Uh, and so my thing though was like I thought there was a perfect dichotomy between Steven and Mark. Steven was a lovable, Karen, almost like Steven was almost what Layla wants Mark to be.
yeah,
Mark's the secluded grunt who keeps everything in, but is physically,
yeah,
a brute. Steven's the lovable, outgoing guy who can't fend himself off, as we saw in this episode.
yeah,
Um, take it back, Mark. Take it back.
yeah. Yeah, that was honestly though like one of my favorite things when he's like, "All right, guys," like he's like trying to talk to him. He's like, "All right, Mom, take it back, take it back."
If we could all just chill the f out, and then
Yeah. Oh my god.
uh,
Also, like the sight of like you got to think like from like Mark and Moonknight's perspective, and Conchu. That is probably like the first time that he has ever been manhandled like that before,
oh yeah,
and purely just because Steven interfered.
yeah, oh absolutely, yeah. Um, so like I am still like okay, but to go back to the Jake thing, and then I'll get to my other point. I don't like it. Now, I think what would be an interesting explanation is so I think the reason that Steven comes about obviously is because of the fact that Mark got these powers from from Khonshu. Got the powers of Moon Knight from Khonshu. And I think the side effect of working with Khonshu is that you develop dissociative identity disorder. But once the other personality or persona becomes aware of the other, it just doesn't magically go away. You develop another
Mhm.
persona, I guess. And I think
Yeah,
that's what's happening here. So now Steven and Mark don't know who Jake is.
yeah,
And Jake seems to be way, way, way more violent. Or the other option I have is Khonshu takes complete control of the body, but he can't do that often or something like that. Because
hmm
I really don't want a third persona. I really love the two persona thing. I don't think the three persona thing, I mean, it will work, but I feel like you kind of set up this nice dichotomy between Steven and Mark, and then to insert Jake would be kind of a
yeah,
lot. I know it's how it works in the comics, but I just, for the sake of this show and moving forward,
yeah.
yeah, I don't like it. You
I
got
don't
any
know.
thoughts on that?
I mean, because here's the thing: is it is weird. It was a weird deviation from the comics to not include Jake Lockley, just because it's not his millionaire, playboy or his mercenary.
Right.
It's a cab driver,
Yes.
but you know, I think changing him from a kind of boring personality, not gonna lie, to someone who's like, oh shit, he like destroys a lot of people in very brutal ways too. And then, Mark and
Yeah.
Steven can't even communicate with him, or they can't even like control him. I think is an interesting story beat that I think if that's the way they're going with Jake being the, you know, ruthless killer, I think that could be interesting.
Yeah, it could be because like Steven kind of is like if you think about it, Steven's on the ground as it is.
Yeah.
He's a museum worker, so he's kind of like observing the streets per se, like Jake did in the comics.
Yeah.
So it just like I felt to me like Mark was already an extreme. Steven was already at the other end of the spectrum. Perfect dichotomy matches up really well, and then it does bring an interesting plot point, an interesting element now is like Mark and Steven have to work together to find out who this Jake is. Or it might be something different. I assume they'll go with Jake, right?
Yeah.
But they gotta find out before, cause like even Mark's like he looks at the knife, he's like, damn.
Yeah.
Um,
Blaming Steven for like, what did you do?
right, right. So yeah, the show is really, really gruesome. Like they go, like even the
Yeah.
action, I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Oh
This is
yeah.
definitely something like you wouldn't show like the average, I don't know, like 9 or 10-year-old MCU
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree. I mean, because again, like you literally come in, like Mark comes back after like stabbing someone.
Right.
And another like really like dark thing that happens is that one guy when Mark is holding him all over the edge of the cliff would rather have
Oh yeah.
killed himself than you know gave up Harrow. So I don't know. It's like kind of crazy that like man, how big is Harrow's control over these people? What is even feeding them that is making them be like yeah, you'd rather die than face Amit.
Right. Yeah. So I kind of want to ask you because you mentioned it this morning. This is the second thing I want to talk about. So we both agree it's probably Jake. Uh, do you think we see? Do you think that's like kind of a subplot that they discover Jake by the end of the season?
Yeah, and I honestly think it's gonna be a thing that it's gonna be Steven and Mark trying to make sure that he doesn't kill uh like Arthur or
Right.
something like that. I don't know. Just the show in this episode took a lot of very interesting decisions at a third episode, basically the middle of the series.
Right. Yeah. In the middle. Yeah. Yeah.
And the big thing that I'm very confused about as to the decision of was already taking away the Moonknight powers. Because now that Khonshu is gone, he's in his stone form now. Mark and Steven have lost their Moonknight powers. We see
Are we sure
that.
about that?
I mean, I don't know because he tells Steven to tell Mark to come free him, and we see
Right.
that he gets stripped of his Mr. Knight outfit.
So when I interpreted that, I was like, the reason he told Mark to come and get him, uh, was the fact that Mark could still summon the suit.
Maybe.
Maybe, but like I also thought about. I'm like, what is Khonshu doing? But like Mark, but like you can also say like he knows Steven's not physically capable of like getting him out. But my other thing is like you complained about this, but I thought about it too. The avatars for these gods are really weird. They're so
They're
bizarre.
so dumb. They're so dumb. They're the.
I'm
I'm
specifically
sorry.
talking about the guy in the suit. Like that guy's an
I'm
avatar
I'm
for a
sorry.
god.
I'm sorry, but these people are literally bordering like the stupidity of almost like everybody from Captain America the First Avenger who is in Hydra. Like, how do you stoop to that level of stupidity? Like, how are you going to actually tell me that all of you were observing Khonshu and Mark, but you weren't observing Arthur Harrow? Literally, though, it's like, okay, yeah, it kind of makes sense because Khonshu was banished, and it would make more sense take a look at somebody who is known to be reckless and whatnot
Right.
versus somebody who hasn't done anything as of yet.
Correct.
But it's just like,
But also, wouldn't you be concerned with Arthur, especially the fact that he was already Khonshu's avatar himself, like,
literally, like he
and
knows you
he
guys.
has the powers of Amet. Is that
Yeah.
not concerned? Like, isn't that a big thing with the Egyptian gods that
Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't want to know where Amet was?
Yeah.
So
And another thing is it's just like the one avatar helps Mark and then cast Khonshu out.
yeah, it's very much like the same thing with like it's like it felt like a Clone Wars thing, like
Yeah.
how like it would always be Anakin like, "Hey, Snips," or Obi-Wan like, "Hey, Annie, yeah, I don't agree with the council here. I'm gonna help you out." It's like,
Mhm.
why didn't you say something? Speak
Yeah.
up, say
It's
something.
yeah, it's just like you might actually be able to like make an argument there. And so
And they didn't even really have a trial. Arthur's just like, yeah, this man's deranged. This man's
yeah,
like,
ableist people, bro. uh, literally though, he's just like, "Oh yeah, you think I'm doing something bad? Well, you're not mentally sane. You're not mentally sane. Okay, everybody forget him.
right.
Everyone look at him. You're
Yeah,
not
that
mentally
basically
sane."
won him the argument was the fact that Mark wasn't, but it wasn't even Mark who was talking. It was Khonshu. And that was
Yeah.
another weird thing too.
Why?
Is
Yeah.
like,
Why was Khonshu trying? Why didn't Khonshu appear with them? Didn't make sense.
it
Didn't
was
make
also
sense.
weird that I understand Amit is gone, but like my thing is like, are these other gods talking to their avatars constantly too? Like, because like, why didn't Arthur have the green eye thing happen? Obviously,
Who
because they
knows?
don't know where Amit. But like, so like my thing's like, do all these avatars talk to their gods like
Yeah.
Khonshu? And they also were like, yeah, we banished Khonshu because we were worried he was interfering with humanity. Guys, aren't you literal proof that the gods are already interfering with humanity? You were literally
Yeah.
avatars for them. And it was really weird to me also because like Arthur, in like Arthur's case, he actually wants to be the avatar of Amet.
Mhm.
Mark was saved by a god. If these gods aren't supposed to interfere, how did these other dudes become
Yeah.
avatars? I have a
Logic
lot of
and
questions about them. They're
plot
cool.
lines.
They're cool.
Yeah.
But like I have a lot of questions. And it doesn't take my enjoyment of anything
No, no,
away.
no, no, no. It's
But
just
I just have a
it's
lot of questions.
it's one of those things where like this really reminds me of the Ahsoka framed arc where it's just like,
Right.
guys, where's this logic coming from? Where's it like Ahsoka has like been a part of this for 3 years, and all of a sudden you think, oh yeah, she's just had a random change of heart and she just wants to bomb the temple. Like, where did the logic come from? And it's the same thing here. How did the logic come from? Oh, you're not mentally sane. Okay, let's forget. Khonshu potentially warning us that he's going to try to commit mass genocide.
Right.
You are not a mentally sane person. How dare you? Who are you?
Plus, why would Khonshu like literally bring the moon up and have the moon cast like why would Khonshu waste your time like that? What do you think? Khonshu's just like
Yeah,
a 16-year-old that's trying to waste their parents' time?
yeah.
Like
It's
why would a god do why? Why?
yeah. It's
I'm
another
gonna
thing
start calling
also.
Khonshu Birdman, by the way, because he
Yeah,
is Birdman. He
it's
is,
another thing also. Like
and he's terrifying. He still haunts me.
yes,
I just see
yes,
everywhere I go. I see his face.
yeah. It's another thing though. Also, that it's just like Khonshu just decided nonchalantly to create a solar eclipse and bring us
Yeah,
back 2,000 years,
yeah, the
or
sky
the
back
sky
2,000 years.
2,000
Yeah,
years, and then brought
man.
it back.
What do you? Did he bring it back though?
Yeah,
What do you think Doctor Strange was thinking?
he was probably thinking, "Oh God, we just dealt with the multiverse, not this shit."
Oh my god, I feel so bad for the average MCU citizen. Think about this. Just a couple of months ago, you saw a red dude just looking down at you from space. space.
Think
Irish.
let's think about it from 2018 to 2025. Thanos comes, or aliens invade, like more aliens invade the planet.
Right. Right.
Try oh, also, we can go back to even 2016. Dormammu just invades Earth
Right.
casually.
An
And then
extra dimensional
yeah.
being. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then 2018, half the population dies.
Yeah.
Then we go to 2023. Oh, they're back. Oh, and now there's a big spaceship firing down on Earth.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Oh, it actually crashed on Earth. Oh my god! It actually created like a mini tsunami in New
Yeah.
York. Oh, oh wow. And then let's go 2024. The multiverse just casually erupts in New
There's a purple
York.
sky in New York. Yeah.
Purple cracks all over the place. White figures coming in. Oh, and then what? We're gonna assume probably like a week later, the universe becomes inky, like because starts to look like what it did in What If, and then here
Yeah.
we are in oh, well, not to mention Erisham also just like
Yeah. Just a big red dude. Just
yeah,
like
like
that one would
oh, yeah.
terrify me the most. I'm gonna be
Also
honest.
yeah,
That one would
yes.
terrify me the most.
Also, just casually opens a black hole next to Earth, but
Yes.
whatever. And then let's go to
Oh, Tiamat. There's also
yeah.
now just
Oh
a
yeah,
big
and there's
gold
also
dude.
yeah, big marble statue in the Indian Ocean. Let's also not take into effect the again, Khonshu just creates a massive solar eclipse that
Yeah.
that eclipses the entire planet. By the way,
Right.
and then also just again sets the sky back 2,000 years, and then sets it back 2,000 or to present day.
Yeah. I feel bad for the average MCU citizen.
Again, I'm telling you, rent in New York in the MCU $1, $1. Because oh my god,
You
it's
were
just
always about to die.
yes, it literally. They when you would buy a house, you'd be like, so what's the possibility that like another alien invasion happens?
Hi.
Very high. That is why the rent is so low. What's the insurance looking like? Oh, well, you'll probably die, so not very good.
Man, they make coastal people make fun of flyover states. Man, I'd
Yeah.
love to live in Topeka, Kansas. I'd love to
Yes.
live in Wichita. Nothing
Also,
gonna
yeah.
happen there.
Let's also. I forgot to mention that a country was also lifted off the ground and then blew up in the sky.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's an entire country that doesn't, like half of a country that doesn't exist now.
Yeah. So that's wonderful.
All started with a dude who got in. Fuck you, Tony Stark. Yeah, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
You really caused this.
I mean, look, if you even want to go even further than this, now you have to think that the flow of time is now in control by Kang the Conqueror.
Oh, oh man. The average MCU citizen is just oh my
awful,
god.
Awful.
Oh
it's
my
awful.
God. And soon there's gonna be a crocodile god that's gonna kill millions of people because they might do something in the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's awful. And then you also have to think there's an obvious looming threat of Galactus somewhere nearby.
Probably.
Bro,
who knows? Thanos might be back too. Who knows, man?
Literally though, if I'm an MCU person like a person who lives in the MCU and I see Galactus kind of nowhere, I'm just like I'd give up. There'd be no point to live.
You know, you got to put the fairies in front of your text. I literally just died.
I'm literally dying. Yeah, it's like you have to think like what apart from Galactus, what more could the normal MCU civilian go through?
Kane's gonna be man, multiverse of Matt, bro. That's a phone. My
Don't
bad.
answer the phone.
Hit
the phone. Hit the phone. So stop and hit the phone.
They put a house phone in my room, so like I thought I unplugged it. Whatever.
Oh.
Sorry people, but to go back to Moonknight. We'll go back to Moonknight now. Again, something I really appreciate about this show, it doesn't do a lot with Moonknight. That's a really just one action scene. I don't need the whole thing to be action.
Yeah.
And I thought the action in this episode was really good. I really loved the scene. when he covers Layla to protect her.
Yeah.
It's a really good scene.
Yeah.
The
You
fights I
know,
thought were good.
yeah. Yeah. Something that you've just brought up about him not being Moon Knight too much. I was honestly really afraid we were going to get a thing of the Batman action where he's almost 99% of the time in the Moon Knight suit and very little of Mark Spector or Stephen Grant comes out. But no, it is like completely a Stephen Grant and Mark Spector driven show.
Yeah, it's kind of the reverse of the Batman, which was like
Yeah.
it's like a really nice. It's unintentional, obviously, but it's a really nice touch. And I kind of
Ironic.
prefer this better, even though I love the
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
I think the Batman's better, but I kind of like
Yeah.
this style better. Like getting to know the character first before they get in the suit. Uh, and Yeah, I thought the action was really well done, especially when he has
Yeah.
like the spears like in him and he pulls
Yeah.
it out. And
Yeah.
those moon rains, he just
Infinite.
unlimited, man.
Unlimited crescent blades.
It just throws them out. Shoom, shoom, shoom.
Oh my god! And the one at the very end where he throws it at the guy and he goes into the fog.
Yeah,
Beautiful shot. I
beautiful
will
stuff.
say, I think this is just a beautiful like shows like in its
Style.
cinematography.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
it really is.
it's amazing. It's a thing that like compared to like WandaVision, WandaVision had its moment where it's like, oh my god, that's so beautiful.
Even
Loki,
Falcon.
yeah, like Loki had it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier had it. Hawkeye had it. But it's just like, man, not like Moon Knight does.
This show's consistently looked really, really good. Like every
Yes,
time he's in the suit, it's like damn, like you could feel every detail. You can
yes.
like, and
It
the light, the eyes,
man,
man.
it's so good.
I think the Mister Knight suit. If I'm being honest,
Yeah,
I know it's not really like a superhero suit, but I think it's the best
yeah,
costume they've done. Really, I
yeah.
really do think that
It's
it's
one of the
so
things.
simple.
It's simple. It's a white tuck suit with a white mask, and that's it. Like here's the thing: is I always keep in mind it's like, wow, this looks really good. Could you imagine this with a full movie budget?
Oh man, I know. It's like people don't realize like the MCU TV shows versus the movie
Yeah,
budgets, like the Russo brothers said, yeah, we spend way more than what people thought. Like they spent a lot. Like they said $1 billion to make Infinity War and Endgame.
yeah,
This has nowhere near that budget, and it looks
yeah.
really good. Like
I
even Khonshu,
yeah,
like Khonshu looks great every time. That's
yeah,
a completely CGI thing.
yeah. It's just something where it's just like, man, it's just like I would. Could you just imagine this show with movie budget? It
Crazy.
would
I can't
it
wait to
would
see
look
Moon Knight in
amazing.
a movie.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just think like, you know, what else like could we see Moon Knight like that would bring him into the movies? Like you got to think, where's I want to see him interact with Blade, the Black Knight, but there's one person who I think we all want to see him really interact with, and that is the Punisher.
Right.
If we do not get that comic book panel realized in the MCU, I want a refund for the last like 3 years I've been into this franchise. It's
um,
it's an amazing comic book panel. It rivals one of my other favorite comic book panels when Billy Kaplan tries to come out to his parents that he's a young Avenger,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
think that he's coming out as gay.
yeah,
Just because it's one of those things that I don't like comic book humor, like in the comic book itself, because most of the time I don't think it's funny. That was one of the first times where I genuinely like laughed at a panel, but then
yeah,
again, the other time I did it was the Frank Castle and Mark Spector conversation about like, oh, how's your are you still crazy? Yeah, you still killing people? Yeah. How's your god? He's good. How's your dead family?
yeah.
It's golden.
To go back to the whole suit thing, like, yeah, he literally, I think he suited up for probably less than like 10 minutes, maybe, or probably close to 10 or 15.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, the thrill of this show has really been the characters, and I think that's what I want to get into third.
dude,
Um,
strongest character work of any show.
Oh, absolutely. Like I think every character is strong. I only felt that way about Loki. Um, and the reason I would put this show ahead of Loki now is because you've got. I'm not saying like. I still think Kane or He Who Remains is very interesting, but we only got one episode, so you kind of had to do a lot in that one episode.
Yeah.
But with Arthur, he's been a really captivating villain. Like you never feel that he's going to physically intimidate you, physically
Yeah.
hurt you. But he's still menacing. He's still manipulative. He's still got that villain-esque vibe, but a lot of, like he's manipulative, so he gets away with it.
Yeah.
And he's been really good. Ethan Hawke has been great. Like every single time, I'm like, damn, I hate you
Yes.
more and more. Like he's done such a good job of playing this type of villain that's just methodical, just over time.
Yes.
Uh,
It's he
yeah.
is like one of the best Phase 4 villains. I would even put him up there saying he's the best Phase 4 villain. We're one not probably not better than Goblin, but I
Well,
have
if you
to
weren't to include Goblin, because he's an old villain, I guess you could say,
yeah.
I'd put him. I think Wenwu was still better. I think just the
Yeah.
personal connection Wenwu had with
Yeah.
Simu Liu's Shang-Chi. Like I like that. But Arthur Harrow has just been fantastic. Like a new type of villain, right? Like a religious zealot that
Yeah.
is a cult leader that's trying to get people to his side. And it's a philosophical, like a
Yeah.
philosophical debate almost in the show. Like,
Yeah.
is Khonshu doing the right thing? Well,
Yeah.
no, not necessarily, because he's just enacting revenge. He's just giving in
Yeah.
to the worst things people can do, which is enact revenge, hate, fear, anger, all those things. And then Arthur Harrow is not right because we are doing things like killing children, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And if he brings forth Ahmet, it seems like the way Layla's described it is that if he does get the tomb, that right when Ahmet comes, like half the like millions of people are dead, I guess, because she'll just
Yeah.
do it right away. And then when I want to continue with the characterization thing, Oscar Isaac's just done a great job playing both of those. Like that
Yes.
scene where he looks at the mirror that he holds in his hand, it's like, all right, your turn. And then you don't even get the whole thing now where it's like,
Yeah.
and they switch. It's just like, oh, yeah, we gotta put the map like that. It just changes from
Hmm.
Mark. Like, I love Oscar Isaac in
Yeah.
episode 8 specifically. I think he's the strongest character, like the most underrated sequel trilogy character, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But his acting, it's one of the, like, he is, I don't like to say it, it's kind of hard to do, but like, he's already been an established actor, but he is the Robert Downey Jr. of the next phase of the MCU. He is Moon Knight. Like he is this role.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I don't know, because when I think of like that, like nobody else could play Tony Stark. Like I mean, other people can, but nobody could play the Tony Stark of the MCU. I could see others playing Stephen Grant, Mark Spector, and all that.
I couldn't.
I think maybe the only other, like I'm
I
trying to
don't
think
think
of
there's that. I don't
roles.
think there's that many good actors that could.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of great actors, but I think Oscar Isaac is
yeah,
obviously one of the best
yeah.
actors
He's up there, but I
in
think
the world.
like I think where Moon Knight is just so different with everything is again it's just its approach to its villain. Something I wasn't a fan of WandaVision or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier or Loki or Hawkeye or Black Widow or stuff like that is that the villain was really the background. Oh, I'm the villain. Surprise.
Yep.
And so that to me was just like, okay, no, Arthur was one of the first people we meet in the show. And he is just menacing.
Well,
It's
he's
one of
literally
those
in the first scene of the
yeah.
show. Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's just like you don't have like to me he very much reminisces, not to a certain extent, and I might be stretching and whatnot. he feels like when Daredevil in the Daredevil TV series says like I could break you without breaking a single law. It's one of those things where he's just like I could kill you without physically touching you,
Right.
and it's just like oh
I always see what he does
damn
to Senfu's sarcophagus.
yeah, just
Like
murks it.
destroys it. Um, I was gonna make a joke that like he is everywhere but that tomb in this episode.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, it's they did it for Catherine Hahn's Agatha, but if anything, I'd really be more interested in a prequel about him.
Yes, like I want to see him with Khonshu. I
Yeah,
want to
what's
see
up
where
with that?
that relationship went sour. Because in this episode, he's like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did enjoy killing for you."
That was a really good scene. That was a really
Yes,
good scene. That ended scene was really, really strong.
I
And
honestly thought the entire time he was gonna break the stone statue.
yeah, I did too.
I was like,
And I
"That'd be
thought that
cool."
was was gonna release Khonshu.
Yeah,
But like almost like it's almost like him accepting as like that's the first time you really see like, oh yeah, he's just an egotistical
yeah,
villain because he's like, you made me, you created. You're like almost saying like I'm the way that I am because of you, right?
yeah. I mean, because
Obviously,
yeah, like he even says like he wants to thank him for
right,
shaping him to be the way he is.
right. And yeah, like his characterization has been great. Like
Yes,
just
and for being a very disconnected show to the MCU, there are a lot of MCU connections.
Madripoor.
The Madripoor drop in the episode. Just again, we've seen the GRC in the background and whatnot. It's just like I think they are handling this as one of the most grounded stories. And I mean, come on, I think this is going even more that I think this is just a way that Marvel should go. Is a lot of their future stories should just be grounded. Because I'm sorry, I don't want
Yes,
to.
especially with a
Yeah,
character like this.
like yeah,
I
it's a
don't need
thing.
a
Like
yeah.
yeah, I don't want to see a Moon Knight be an Avenger. I don't want to see him like the thing is like we know they're probably going towards Midnight Suns and whatnot, but it's just like I want him to really stay by himself.
Yeah. Oh, for a while. Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
because it's just like
Uh,
for me, it's just like um, I think he is genuinely just one of those characters where I I I think he can only excel by himself.
yeah, I don't want to see Mark Spector up there in friggin' Secret Wars, as like you have
No,
seven
yeah,
Spider-Man fighting like up there. Like I don't want to see that.
yeah.
That's
Like it's the thing. Like though, it's just like I think something that could make him really good. Like I think something that could be a really good storyline is that he could be like the only Moon Knight in the multiverse. Like
that would
there,
be interesting.
like there are no other like Khonshu. There are no other Khonshus. There are no other Amits. They're all just on our Earth. Now, granted,
That would be interesting.
that would make our Earth even more effed up because just
We're the only one with
Earth,
the Egyptian
yeah,
gods.
yeah, Earth 19999, guys. Don't just the only thing that I have garnered from the MCU is that never live on an Earth with that number because goddamn, who knows? Just one day, all of a sudden, just
Well, also don't live on that Earth that Strange let everyone turn into
yeah,
black goo.
yeah. It's a thing that's just like, look, if you see some purple rock or some colorful rocks on the ground, just take it and just keep it with you. Just for safekeepings, because next thing we
Yeah.
know, some purple guy is gonna come looking for it and he's gonna all of us away.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I don't know. What's weird though about this show is that like, of course, me being someone who like, cosplays and whatnot, I want to do Moon Knight so bad, but I'm just like his costume seems so impossible for some reason.
His
'Cause it
costume seems what I appreciate about it so simple, but at the same time looks very detailed.
well no, because like if you think about it, like Moon Knight's costume literally is like toilet paper. As bad as that sounds,
Wow.
as bad
Wow.
as
I feel
that
like
sounds.
I see Kachu walking behind you right now.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, but it is. It is. He is just toilet
Nope, it's the
paper.
sacred armor of Khonshu. Wow,
Look,
wow, wow.
call it what you want, but to me personally, like I'm looking at people who sell the Moonknight suit. I'm just like it doesn't look right. It's he like Moon Knight is one of those costumes where I'm just like, if you don't make that like custom made and whatnot, it's not gonna look right. Because like you got to think like there's people like
Yeah.
anybody can buy the Batman costume
Hmm.
because that's easy to make. Spider Man. Oh my god, the TikTok trend by the way of people wearing the symbiote suit. What?
Wait, there's a trend that people are doing that?
Yeah, people are dressing up as Spider Man. People who definitely are not Marvel fans too.
Oh,
Because
that's fine. I'm not gonna. Yeah, who? Whatever. Dress up
no,
as whatever.
no, it's like yeah, I'm not gonna gatekeep and be like, you don't know everything about Marvel, but it's just like, bro, these people are clearly don't know. They maybe watched a few movies because their friends made them watch it. But it's just like,
Yeah,
like they're doing TikTok dances in Spider-Man suits, and I'm just like, who it,
yeah.
who it.
But like for me, like I have never been into like the dressing up like Halloween when I was young. But like I really think like I might do the Mr. Knight. I might get an all white suit and do it.
Dude, no, I have said it to you multiple times. You could pull off. There's one person who I think, honestly, I've been recently thinking about you being able to do. And that's Deadpool. Not Deadpool, sorry. I just saw his
I
name
was
up
just
here.
gonna say what?
Daredevil.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
I I don't know
But
about that.
I could only see you in the black suit. I couldn't see you in the red suit.
Okay,
I don't know.
interesting one.
Me,
Uh,
but maybe who knows? Maybe I could see you as Stephen Grant.
latest gators,
Like
Steven from the gift shop.
is Stephen with the B.
Wagwam!
Wham! I love him. He's
Float
our.
like a butterfly, sting like a bee. My name is Steven with the bee.
Yeah,
I
I
said the
love
show
him.
is hilarious, bro. Steven has got to be one of the
Yes,
funniest thing ever.
it's literally a thing that is just like this show does not look like something that'd be like funny. It's so funny. I think it's the funniest MCU project like in recent time.
It is pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
I'm
Mark,
trying. Yeah,
Mark, Mark, stop it.
yeah,
Okay, everybody, time out, time out. Let's
yeah.
chill the F out. Let's chill the F out. Ah,
Oh,
Mark,
take it
Mark, take over the body. And
take
Mark,
it back. Take
Mark
it back.
looks so confused. He's like, why is there something like through me right now?
Yeah.
Um,
I love. Look, I love this show like way too much. Okay, I love it too much
but the
because
the one thing I'm upset about is it's not generated the buzz that the other ones have. It's
yes,
really been a little upsetting. It's the best one, and it's generated no buzz.
I know. Cause like to me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, could you imagine if this had the buzz that like WandaVision had?
Crazy.
It would be
I
amazing.
mean,
Like
this
everybody
reminds me a
would.
lot like Falcon suffered from this. Falcon didn't have a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was. I think it's underrated in my opinion. But like, Moon Knight's definitely better than Falcon, and I feel like Falcon had more buzz than Moon Knight. I wonder if it's a comic book fatigue. I don't know, or it's just like an unknown character. But it's Oscar Isaac,
I don't know. Because the thing though is like,
and it was marketed pretty well. I thought, like, really well.
yeah, I don't know if it was a thing of like people didn't know who he was because that hasn't affected many people. Like, not many people knew who Shang Chi was before his movie came
Wow,
out.
Morbius.
Mm. Not many people knew about the Eternals, even though the Eternals did get kind of like shit on, but it got buzz somewhat.
Yeah,
Even then, like Shang Chi got amazing press and whatnot. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I just, for me personally, okay, just me. I just wish the show had more buzz around it, more hype. Because,
Yeah.
like, again, it's just so sad because this is the best MCU show, or Disney Plus show,
So far, yes. I don't want
undisputable. If I had to rank the shows currently right now, if Moon Knight were to continue at its uh, current path,
trajectory. Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word. If it stays on
You're
course
welcome.
right
You're
now,
welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. See, we help
think
each other out here at
yeah.
Wars of the Stars.
think about it. Like, the show would be a perfect show. If I had to rank the shows right now, like without giving ratings, just quickly, I'd
Right.
probably go WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, Loki, Moon Knight.
Yeah, I would flip flop Hawkeye and Falcon, and I think I would agree. We've had 5 MCU Disney Plus shows. Jesus, man.
I know.
And it's only been a year and a half. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's only been a year and a half. It's been like a year since Falcon came out. It feels like a decade ago.
I know. It's crazy.
It's crazy. So we've been going at this conversation for about 45 minutes or so. So
yeah, but this show's so good that I could talk
it is
about
so
it
good.
forever.
It is so good.
I could talk about it forever.
But I wanted to ask, where do you think it's going? What do you think's up in the next episode? Next episode, we have a big twist coming.
Yeah.
And I think so I don't want to give too much away. But you know that shot in the trailer where he's banging on glass?
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what it is, but I know he ends up in a mental asylum, and that's kind of a thing that happens in episode 4. I'm kind of worried, and some people are kind of worried that there are people who watch the show and knows what happened. But, like, the first thing that came to my mind, oh, man, the big twist is going to be he's been in a mental asylum the whole time, and none of this happened.
Oh, that would absolutely make
that would be the biggest bamboozle. I don't think it's going to be that.
No. I don't know.
I do think, however, it's going to be that these events happened in the past, and he's got to fix them now.
Maybe. I don't know because
I know the twist involves that mental asylum.
Yes, I don't know.
That would suck so much if, like,
literally though, if they bamboozled us like this and we're like, oh, actually,
that would be way worse than the boner. Like, Ralph.
Yes,
Boner was
I would actually then say this show went from like a whopping like 9.5 out of 10. I would say it would literally drop to like a 4 out of 10.
But I'm just trying to think of a way it could work. Like they could still do something like that where, like, he was dreaming, but these events actually did happen. Now he has to fix them.
Yeah, maybe he's like remembering the events or something.
Yes, now he has to fix them.
I don't know because
there was an interesting thing that they talk about. I saw somebody mentioned in Winter Soldier in Civil War. They talk about the business that's going down in Cairo. They mentioned Cairo, Egypt a couple of times.
Yeah.
That could be the funny business they were mentioning. And then now he's got to fix it. He was blipped. Now he's got to fix it.
Well, we know he wasn't blipped because his
damn it.
Fuck, what is it? Why am I blanking so bad right now? ID or
passport.
Passport was dated for December of 2018, and the blip happened in like July or whatever.
Okay.
So no, he survived. But I don't know. Like, new rock stars were proposing, what if Jake Lockley was blipped? One of his identities was blipped.
That would be weird.
Because
be crazy.
It needs the Soul Stone, and would we be counting his identities or personalities as souls?
People? Yeah. Souls, yeah.
That's
an interesting theory.
Who knows? I'd be down for it.
Or that could have been Steven.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting. I actually don't mind that theory, but yeah, the mental silo will play a role, and I think it's towards the latter half of episode 4, though. Like, I feel like like it could like midway through the episode, we could have something happen to like Layla, which would suck because I really like her
Yeah.
character.
Oh my God! Stop! If you start manifesting that Layla's gonna die,
Think maybe, but I don't think she
Mm.
will because she's actually like I want her to be like I want her to become like Mrs. Knight.
Me
I want them to be
too.
like a tandem because she's so good. She's so interested too. Like
Yeah.
uh Arthur's like, you want to do this because your father murdered people. You're trying to atone for his sins, basically. So yeah, she's very interested. She's great. But yeah, that's where I think the show's gonna head. We're gonna take a weird twist in episode 4, and I'm excited.
Mhm.
Actually, we'll probably get to watch it together because I'm off. I have vacation, completely off.
You should be able to watch it. Depends on what
If I
test.
wake up on time,
Yeah.
because I do have a game the day before. But yeah, I should be able to wake up on time. So
Let's let's hope.
yeah, I gave it a 7.5. You gave it a what?
7.5.
Okay, okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right, let us now move into our next main topic. This came, I believe, last Friday. Yeah, Friday. This comes to us from. Oh, let me get open. This comes to us from, I believe it is Hollywood Reporter, their Heat Vision. This is basically like their blog about like scoops that they have. So they say that Peter Ramsey, who helped direct
Co-director.
uh Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, will helm at least one episode of Ahsoka. And then they say Rosario Dawson will star on the series, with Hayden Christensen as Vader. I don't know.
Interesting.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Ray Stevenson. So Peter Ramsey, so Into the Spider-Verse, obviously a great film. Really excited that he's joining this Mando verse and is going to direct an episode of Ahsoka. But I wanted to start an interesting conversation. So Into the Spider-Verse deals with the multiverse a little bit, right? Deals with some portals and stuff. You know what else has portals in Star Wars?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
World Between Worlds.
Stop. 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 Rewind.
I know it's a little far-fetched. I saw somebody say it, mentioned it on Twitter. Thoughts?
No, multiverse does not exist in Star Wars.
You know
Does not
Dave's going to want to
exist.
put it in.
Well, no. Why would he do that?
But
just
I
didn't
also
see it.
feel like that the other option could be, so, the iconography behind the Ahsoka logo is the same as the Lothal Temple.
Well, between worlds. Oh, sorry, I'm tired all of a
So
sudden.
my thing with that is that since Ramsey has a lot of experience in animation, he could take kind of the animated world of what Lothal was and apply it to live action, maybe by helping Dave. I don't know. So like with I don't know how much
Really?
influence these directors have when they direct these episodes, specifically of Mandoverse stuff, because there does seem to be a distinct difference in quality between some directors. Like every time Bryce Dallas Howard directs an episode, it just
It's
looks
always
better.
good. You always know. Well, not only that, you just know it's going to be good.
Rick Famuyiwa, like, always puts banners out, underrated banners.
Yep.
So, like, I wonder how much, what's his face? The one that did Spike, Robert Rodriguez, hit or miss. It's been. So I wonder if it's how much influence they have. So I'm really curious to see how this works out. Obviously, animation director. I don't know if he's directed anything in live action. I could have looked it up. But yeah, I'm. Why not? I love giving new directors chances.
Yeah,
It's Star Wars. It's how George. I mean, George was known, but like he wasn't
yeah,
great.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm absolutely excited. Uh, was one of the things that was in the TikTok that I made. So, I don't know. Without like, because I didn't put my thoughts on. I didn't put my thoughts on the video, but I'm excited. Into the Spider Verse, top 3 Spider-Man movie. So
That's not a hot take at all. Might be a top 3 comic book film.
yes,
For a
I
lot of people,
agree.
it's at number 1,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really
Yeah,
reinvigorated people's joy of animation, or it really got people like to realize animated films are good.
yeah,
Like animation's been great. That's probably like the majority of what I've watched as a kid was
yeah.
animated stuff,
What's
obviously.
funny is uh the the 2 best Spider-Man movies are the 2 that deal with the multiverse.
So I'm looking up
Interesting.
Peter Ramsey's IMBD right now, and I wanted to look at what is he. Uh, yeah, I don't think he's done a lot of. He's done a lot of animated stuff, so that's really interesting. That he's getting a. Yeah, he's done some stuff. He's done some stuff in live action. He was the second unit director on live action films like Godzilla, Tank Girl, Higher
Nice.
Learning, and Poetic Justice. So yeah, he's gonna get a big chance in live action, obviously, but
Yes.
that's what Star Wars is, man. It's a great
Hmm.
way, and obviously, I think what really excites me is he's creative. Obviously,
Yes.
with Into the Spider Verse, they had some creative stuff there. Obviously, some visually very stunning things.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm excited to see how we can craft that. You know, stagecraft. You can do really anything with that volume technology, and it's
Yeah.
only going to get better and better. So I'm really excited to see how he shoots it. But yeah, I just asked about the world between worlds because like connection, kind of.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
so you're a big no on that. I think we're both
No.
no's on that in general.
No multiverse, please. Not only would that not make sense for Star Wars, just the conversation that brings is
Like it's fine in Rebels because Rebels is, and I say this about Clone Wars too. They're both, even though they're more mainstream now, they're still very niche shows. They have a niche audience. It's not. I think Clone Wars maybe more so has reached and bridged into the wider audience, but Rebels hasn't. Yeah, I think you would agree with that. That's fair.
yeah.
So like only really Star Wars, like people who focus on it know about the world between worlds.
Hmm.
So like if you brought that into the general public, it'd be like, what, what,
Yeah.
why? So
Yeah.
like I could see Ramsey pulling it off, but like
Mm.
I just don't want that conversation. I agree with you.
No.
It brings up so many bad discussions.
Like here's my thing is like I couldn't give 2
Maybe in a
pieces of
flashback,
shit.
but
No,
that's about it.
I couldn't give 2 doses of shit if he pulls it off right. It's just the conversation it's gonna bring regardless is just not worth it. It's not. And just because everyone's gonna be saying, because like I ran into this today, um of a guy saying that in his opinion the sequel trilogy was not canon. And I had to explain to him that's not how opinions work. And he was like, well, yeah, but it's my opinion that they aren't canon. I was like, well, again, not how that works. Maybe if you worked at Disney, I could give some credibility to that. But anyway, it's a thing that's just like if you bring the multiverse into Star Wars, I'm sorry, that brings just the worst kind of conversation.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Maybe we're living in a universe where only the original trilogy happened. Maybe episode 3 happened too.
Yeah. Um. So basically, I think both our final thoughts, I think. Or I'll just cap mine up. Really excited. I'm always excited for new directors in Star
Yeah.
Wars. Really curious to see how he translate his animation directed into live action, but he's got a great cast. He's got a great person, two great people overseeing it.
Yes.
John's going to be an executive producer on this, but I think this is more Dave's project. This is Dave's baby, so I
Dave's
think he
baby.
will be very protective, but he'll also excited to see Ramsey's creativity shine in live action.
Yeah.
So, you got any final thoughts on this?
No. Just can't wait to see it. Hope it's true.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, it is true. Hopefully, yeah. Lucasfilm keeps him on. So finally, oh, we haven't even done question of the week, have we?
I honestly didn't think of one, so
Do you want to skip, or
yeah.
you really don't have a question of the week?
Really don't. I was cleaning up and I
Do you want
found
to talk about the Gorr thing, and then I'll let you?
no, because I don't think I have one. Because I remember, I was
Oh wow,
cleaning. I was
that's so bad
cleaning
of us.
some things around my desk up, and I
Yeah.
remember that I actually found a bunch of the ones that I lost, and
Okay.
now, guess what? I can't find them.
Oh no.
Oh wait, I found maybe one. Hold on. I don't know because whenever we were done doing them, I would fold them back up. Yeah, we did this already.
Oh god.
Ah. Oh well.
Um.
No question of the week this week unless you can think of one.
You think of one while we talk about the
Gorth the God Butcher.
Yeah.
The
All right.
controversy that this has sprung.
So let's move into our third topic now. This one has to do with the. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Alex, but the Marvel Legends toys leaked for Thor: Love and Thunder, and we got a first look at Gorr through an action figure, and then like a description on the back of an action figure. So I'm gonna pull one of those images up now. Obviously, we got this one right here. Um, and then we obviously this is the toy itself.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Um yeah, that's what, and then just for some perspective, this is like kind of what Gorr looks like in the comics. I guess this is better. It's kind of what Gorr looks like in the comics with the black necro sword.
Yeah.
So obviously, a deviation without the hair, the black hair things. I mean, Alex, I don't get why people are upset at this. They change designs all the time. It's to fit story.
Yes.
And the actor for this character is literally Christian Bale. I want to see
Yeah.
Christian Bale act with his face.
Yeah. It's a thing with this. Okay. Phase 4 has been spoiling us with comic accuracy, spoiling us with it. I didn't care that they changed this. As somebody who reads the Marvel comics, as somebody who has read stuff with Gorr the God Butcher, I don't care that they changed the design.
Yeah.
To me, here's the thing: is when I look at them changing stuff, I ask some questions. As like, well, number one, did his design affect him in any way in the comics? Was it a major part of him? And so I think most of the time, no. With things like Iron Man, yeah, it'd be weird if all of a sudden Iron Man, instead of being red and gold, was like yellow and orange.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, that would be like a hey, that's a pretty stupid deviation from the
Or
comics.
Captain America wasn't red, white, and blue. It was like
Pink, purple, and indigo.
green. Yeah.
Like it's like obviously, yeah, like that's gonna raise some eyebrows. But to this, it's just like again, if this was maybe some like C-list actor, I could maybe understand the frustration. But this isn't just any C. This isn't some C-list actor. This is Christian effing Bale, Batman.
Right. Yeah.
Like this is different.
American Psycho.
I want to see him act. I don't want to see a bunch of CGI or prosthetics.
Yeah, and it looks fine.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm judging this based off of the back of a Marvel Legends
Yeah,
toy. I'm not even judging it based off of the trailer.
We haven't even. Oh, we're getting one. Like we haven't even seen what he looks like. I think it's too early to make that kind of judgment.
Right.
It's too
Now,
early.
You could make it like maybe more alien-like instead of human-like. Sure. Yeah. Whatever. Make that argument. But the way a character looks in comparison to other forms of media, I don't get it. It's like this is a really good example. As somebody who's been in the sports world my whole life, I've never heard one of my friends complain in a video game that an athlete doesn't look exactly the same in a video game.
Right.
Because who cares? Yeah. Right? Who cares? Like, actually, who cares? I want to see Christian Bale act. I don't want just a CGI squid-looking thing talk. I just don't want to see that.
It's another thing also that
I'm sure Bale would do fine with that. I'm sure it would look good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Marvel has bad quality CGI or bad quality, effects or anything like that. I want to see Christian Bale act. They got Christian Bale so we can act. This is probably the only... Sadly, they're probably going to kill Gorr. I don't want them to kill Gorr the God Butcher, but sadly, Bale's probably only going to do this once. Just, do you think Bale wants to sit in a chair the whole time to have prosthetics on him? Like, no.
Yeah, and so, to me, it's this. It's just like, they changed how Thanos looks from the comics. Like, he's very different looking in the comics. But that didn't matter. Like, the only thing that they really kept over is that he was a purple, he was alien, and that his face looked the same. But his armor didn't look the same. The Infinity Gauntlet didn't look the same. But it's the thing that it didn't matter. It wasn't. It did like again. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. And so I question the same thing. Does this matter? In short, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry, but if you're bitching about it, you're sad. Sorry.
I get why people are upset, and there are people that really care about the comics and really care about comic accurate designs, but I guess my thing would be is like, as long as they just make him a cool menace and villain, like I think he's going to be, that's all I care about.
Yeah. And to my thing also about me, telling people to stop crying about it, is I would understand if the MCU advertised that they were a comic accurate thing. Like they stuck to the comic storylines. But they don't. They don't. And so I think if you're coming into, if you're coming into the MCU hoping for 1,000% comic accuracy, I'm sorry, but you got the wrong universe.
Right. It's very hard to do.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do. It's all about style. It's all about how it fits that project itself.
Yeah.
I don't need you to sacrifice story or the aesthetic that Taika's got a certain aesthetic. If the aesthetic of Gorr in the comics doesn't work for his aesthetic, then change it. And as I look at it, like the toy itself looks like it. I can even make the acknowledgement. The toy itself looks weird. He looks like just a very, very pale Jesus.
Yeah.
But when I look at the back and I look at what the design's supposed to look like, okay, he's got this tattoo type of thing and he looks very much more menacing. But again, I'm basing this off of a toy in the back of a toy thing.
Yeah. And it's another thing you also have to think that, like, they probably got designs of how he looks before he was finalized in VFX.
Right. Like, I don't know how this whole process works, but Marvel
it's a thing that, like, you have to think also. They probably put Marvel and Disney probably put the Lego group through the same thing. They do it with Star Wars all the time, where they release sets that are part of the movie, but they have no correlation to it at all, and they don't look like that. A big thing that I can think about is the Spider-Man No Way Home's wave of Lego sets. There was stuff like the Vulture Showdown where Spider-Man was in the black and gold suit from No Way Home. It's like that didn't happen in the movie,
Right.
but they were probably sent concept art and whatnot months and months before we were shown anything. Probably like months
Yeah.
into development of the movie. And
Yeah.
so you have to think, we also months ago reported on when we first got our first look at Moonknight.
Right.
It's yes, what we saw in person was how he looked on set, but that was before he was VFX
Yep.
touched up. So you can't make a full judgment based on them getting basically early concept art.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. It's just I'm excited. I'm excited to actually see what it looks like in a trailer at Marvel Studios.
We're not getting one.
Um, I'm not gonna judge it based off of a toy, but from
Yeah.
what I can judge it based off of the toy, it looks fine. Whatever. I'm excited to see what it actually really looks
Yeah.
like, and I'm excited to see Christian Bale in a Marvel movie. That's great. That's
Yeah.
fantastic as the villain. Oh, that's fantastic. Wow.
He was Batman again, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand the complaints, but I
Yeah.
think we're a little overreaction from some people. That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
You got a question of the week?
No.
Oh, finish. Nothing.
Nothing.
All right, let me come up with something on. Let me come up with something on the spot here.
I'll try my best too.
I'll try to keep it short and sweet if I find something. Okay.
Oh, I think I got something. Well, I don't
Go
know.
ahead.
'Cause you don't read the Marvel comics, so. Awkward silence.
Okay, awkward silence. Okay.
Dude,
Now,
no.
yeah, I don't got it. This
Again-
is disappointing because this is your thing. This is on you.
I know, but my thing
This-
is I couldn't think of anything because I was worried about a tickle talk I was making.
Tickle talk. Yep. Yeah. Well.
I don't know.
Wow.
The question that I thought about, I don't know if you'd be able to answer.
What is it?
If you could have one comic book storyline come into the MCU, what would it be and why?
I mean, I haven't read a comic, but I know some storylines. Probably this is so basic, but Secret Wars. Just because that's the way we're going, I'm not even gonna upload this. This is terrible. This is all
Yeah, and-
Alex's fault.
No.
This is all Alex's fault. Yeah, Secret Wars.
I'm gonna be basic and also say Secret Wars.
Oh my God, he just
But you know what I would really want. I want
Young
Young
Avengers.
Avengers, but they're
Yeah.
not doing it. So
yeah, I got no. Wow, terrible.
you don't read
Alex.
the comics.
Terrible. Come up
You
with better
don't
questions.
read the
man.
comic. Read the comics, and I can make better questions.
Boo. No question of the week for the people this week. I am so sorry about that.
I'm not.
No,
I am. But I had to think of. I was too busy on TikTok. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'll try to. Do we have one more story?
No, we're done.
No way.
That's it, man. This is nothing else.
Oh my god.
Yeah. This went for an hour 25.
Mini
That's good.
story. The Batman is coming to streaming not this Saturday.
It's the 18th, right?
No, next Saturday.
Oh,
the
cool.
23rd of April.
I don't have HBO Max, so yeah, who cares?
I don't either. So I'll buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray.
By the way, I heard No Way Home has no deleted scenes in it.
Yeah, they completely took the deleted scenes out, which was funny. If you got
That's
it on
funny.
digital, you got them. I got it.
You did get the deleted scenes.
Oh no, I didn't. I got the behind the scenes.
Ah.
Which honestly, I think a lot of people. I saw this on TikTok. A lot of people had said that uh that they're probably just going to release an extended cut of the movie with these deleted scenes.
Like in theaters?
No, like a maybe, because you got to think there's another Matt Murdock scene. There's more. There's the 3 Spider-Man together. A few other scenes. So
Ah,
who
whatever.
knows? Okay. I'll give maybe a mini question of the week if you want to do this one. Instead of what comic storyline, which comic book character that has not been introduced to the MCU yet would you like to have a movie or show about?
Just gonna say Nova because I don't know many.
Wow, that's basic. And I was gonna say Nova
Yeah,
because
well,
again,
just so much, so much for this,
you know my obvious answer.
so much for this. Wiccan,
Yes, exactly. Wiccan and who?
so much for this. What's his
Wiccan
name?
and who?
Speed.
Yes, Wiccan and Speed.
So much for question of the week, man. But
I
did you see there was a
know.
new Doctor Strange trailer? Like a TV spot.
Yeah.
Wanda crushed an Ultron bot's head.
Dude, they're
Uh,
showing too much.
you think so?
They're showing
They haven't.
way
They've shown like the same 5 things.
no, but they're showing new clips every trailer, and it's too much. I feel like I know too much of what's going to happen in the movie.
Well,
Because again, we didn't even talk about the Doctor Strange runtime. It's 2 hours and 6 minutes, and I definitely think that the people overreacting definitely don't understand how this movie is going to start. This movie is almost certainly going to start almost either directly where No Way Home left off, or like a few days after.
this is the end of like this mini multiversal saga.
We got to think we're building to Secret Wars
Wow,
right
this
now.
is the end of like
The Doctor Strange imbued one.
yes. This but it most certainly opens up other realms. And it's also getting the Endgame and Star Wars streaming. The review embargo is the day before. People aren't seeing this movie until May. When does it come out? The 7th?
6th.
6th. Until May the 4th. They're not allowing people. The premiere is like May the 4th.
Yeah, they're
They
not.
don't
They
want.
don't want spoilers.
I heard, from what people are saying, it's got more crazy stuff than Endgame.
I bet. I bet there's probably more cameos in this movie. So many big cameos.
That's what I worry about too. Just like,
Cameo.
oh
fest.
my god, look at who that is. Oh,
Oh
my
my
god.
god. It's Professor. Oh my god, it's Magneto. Oh my god, it's Wolverine. Hey, whose movie is this again? This is Doctor
Right.
Strange's? Oh,
I don't think
yikes.
he'll get overshadowed. I'm sure.
No, I don't know. Crazy time to be alive right now for superhero fans.
Yeah, I'm just wicked busy in life in general. So it's like, it's also been crazy that way.
And I think also, if everything goes right, I'll be driving to my first superhero movie by myself, which will be Thor: Love and Thunder, if I get my license. No, I'll have my temp, so I'll be driving with someone, but I'll be driving.
Don't crash.
No, my brother crashed into a tree. It was funny. Totaled the car.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And now I think he just went into the bathroom right next to me. Say that.
Unreal. All right, well, that's going to do it this week for the show. We'll be back next week to review episode 4 of Moonknight.
I promise I'll have a question of the week next week. I promise.
We'll have a question of the week. Look forward to Alex's update of the week, update of the week.
It's probably going to be on either Mondays or Wednesdays or Fridays. It's going to fall on one of those 3 days. And I might do one tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Friday.
I will upload a video tomorrow of my Moonknight episode 3 review onto TikTok.
Onto the Wars on the Stars account? Or...
No, just my own, at Hand Me the Man. So yeah, that's all I got. You got anything you got to start posting on your own?
I was actually, once we were done with this, I was going to go either start recording or start getting ready to film my Eye of Agamotto review.
Oh, nice, nice. So yeah.
And I wanted to review my new 3D printer, but I don't know how it works. So like
So you
I
gotta
can't.
figure that out first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a kind of a bit of a thing I have to kind of like
You
try to
kind of have to
understand.
figure that out, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, guys, again, it's gonna do it. Back next week as always at 8 p.m. EST. As always, may the force be with you. May you stay burdened with glorious purpose and
Let's get us.
light as gate as peace.